I want to bring this one back around. Y'all know how I do. I want to bring this one back around. Okay, we're gonna go back again to Miss Lady. I want y'all to hear her.
Here's the thing they don't tell you about self-help books. They won't change your life. I know.
She said, I read 365 self help books to learn one lesson. They won't change your life. They won't. They won't change your life. And now she gets into what actually does change your life. Okay.
Ironic. I absolutely love self-help books. But hear me out, because this one lesson that I learned is the thing that most of these books actually don't teach you. It's the secret to transforming your life. And once I got it, everything changed.
The lesson is surprisingly simple. You cannot think your way to a better life. You have to act. And I'm about to show you how I went from overthinking everything, constantly procrastinating, putting things off, even though I actually really wanted to do them, to finally getting out of my own way and starting to take action.
At the start of my self-improvement journey, I was obsessed with planning. I mean, I still am, but now it's different. I would write out my goals in detail, map the perfect routines, create vision boards, and consume so much advice. Like, too much. Books, podcasts, YouTube videos, Instagram posts, TikTok videos, series, you name it. Anything you can find, I've tried it. But when it came to actually doing the things I needed to do, I froze. I would always tell myself I needed to feel ready, confident, more prepared. But guess what? I stayed in the same place for years and months because those feelings never came.
Then I got this book, The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, from a friend. I hadn't really heard of it before, I didn't necessarily want to read it, but I read it and I'm so glad that I did. Mel Robbins, the author, talks about how in moments of hesitation you can bypass your brain's tendency to overthink and to freeze and to not do something by just counting down from 5 and then doing that thing when you get to 1. And yes, it obviously sounds too simple to work, right? I decided to try it.
One morning, I'd been debating whether I should or shouldn't go to the gym. I mean, I knew I should. I had promised to myself that I would, but I didn't really feel like it. I thought about all of the reasons not to. I'm too busy, I'm tired, it's cold outside, and it's more comfortable to just stay in bed. Also, I don't know where to start, and what if people were making fun of me in the gym? But then I remembered what I read. Just count down from 5 and then do it. It's literally that simple. I counted down, I got ready, and I went to the gym. I was still scared, I still felt unprepared. It was still cold outside and my bed was still the cozier place. But a tiny, imperfect action led to a habit that changed my life.
Another book that really solidified this lesson was Do the Work by Stephen Pressfield. He talks about resistance, that invisible force that tries to stop us from starting anything worthwhile. And you know when resistance is the strongest? Right before you begin. Because after you get started, after you're already at the gym, you've started your workout. When you're already sitting down at your desk and doing your homework, your assignment, or working on a project, that's when things start to get into a flow. Putting in the work doesn't feel that difficult anymore. And the hardest part was just starting. So by making the start as easy as possible, by just counting down for 5 and just doing it, we make our work and our life way easier. If you want to read comprehensive guides on the 5-second rule and many other self-development books, I really recommend checking out Shortform. They have a collection of the world's most loved self-help books that they shorten down to just a few pages. You can read the short guides or also just listen to them on the go. I'll leave the link down below if you want to check them out, and thank you for the support.
Waiting for the perfect plan or the right moment is just resistance in disguise. Starting messy isn't just okay, it's necessary. It's how you figure things out as you go. The crazy thing is, once you start to take action, your mindset also shifts. You stop seeing obstacles and you start seeing opportunities. You start taking more chances. And I learned that progress, no matter how small, builds confidence in a way that thinking about progress never can. Even just saying you're gonna wake up at a certain time and then actually doing it, that builds confidence. You are showing yourself that you are capable of making a promise and then keeping it. And that helps you then build confidence to do bigger and better things. It will give you the confidence to start a business you've always been dreaming of, to start posting videos that anyone on the internet could watch, to start actually chasing your dreams. Thinking about doing those things, that doesn't build confidence. When I first started posting on YouTube, I was terrified. I thought, what if people think I'm cringe? What if they judge me? What if my voice sounds weird? What if my videos are bad? I overthought every single detail. But one day I just decided, you know what? At the end of the week, I'm gonna post a video. And it doesn't matter what happens or what people think, I'm just gonna do it. I told myself, just post it, like just do it. And then you'll see how it goes. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be an absolute masterpiece. Imperfect is better than not existing at all. So I did post a video. And no, I didn't go viral in my first video. Maybe a few hundred people watched that video. But now, looking back, that was the step that I needed in order to get to where I am. Looking back, I'm seeing how far I've come, not just in my content, but also in my confidence, in the way that I see things, in the way that I approach the creative process, in the way that I learn new things. Now I have the courage to learn new things because I started posting videos without knowing how to edit, without even having a camera, without knowing anything about.
All right, boom, y'all get the point. I don't gotta go too deep on that one. All right, now let's go back. You're fat because you're not social climbing. Now let's go back to this video and we're going to dissect it.
Girl Club. Welcome back to the.
I want to point out something about the way this woman looks. So clear, this is a curvy woman, right? Clearly, this woman's curvy, right? And clearly she's curvy in a little what you would classify as thick. But notice how in shape her body is. Notice how cleanly, neatly put together her body is. You see what I'm saying?
Beluga series, and this episode is about how you're fat because you're not social climbing. I just got done going to the gym, so I went on the elliptical for about an hour, and then I just got done drinking my fruit smoothie with acai berry and blueberry. I love making fruit smoothies after a workout, by the way. A lot of people are over exercising and then they're eating back all the calories that they just lost. You never want to do that. You want to try to have maybe like a light protein shake or something light after a workout. Just a tip. But a lot of women are belugas because they have no lives. They spend their lives scrolling on Instagram. That's all they do. They wake up in the morning, they scroll on TikTok, they scroll on social media, they sit in their own sweat in their musty ass bed under their musty blankets. They never get up. They don't get up. They don't go anywhere. They don't have anywhere to go. So there is no motivation for them to work out. So they just sit in their house and act like a beluga and eat chips. And then they have Dorito crumbs all in the sheets of their bed. Their bed literally smells like Doritos. And I was thinking about how this morning, a part of why I went to get on the elliptical is because I've got a lot of events coming up for Juneteenth. So Juneteenth, if you're watching this and you're not black, this is like a black holiday basically. And I have a lot of fun stuff coming up with my friends. So I was like, let me go get on the elliptical and kind of get off this extra water weight
Right.
because I want to look snatched in my crop top.
Right.
But when you think about women who have this beluga mindset, if they don't have any events to go to, if they don't have any vacations or anything to look forward to, of course they're going to be a beluga because all they do is stay hidden in their apartments. Their apartment has become a prison cell. Their job has become a prison for them. All they do is work, eat, and sleep. That's it. They go to work, they come home, they eat food, then they go to sleep, and then they repeat. So their lives revolve around being a cubicle slave. Their lives revolve around what's happening on TikTok. You know how there are those fitness influencers on TikTok or like the reality shows like The Bachelor and all that? Think about the types of women who spend all day long watching Netflix or they spend 8 hours a day scrolling. Usually they're women who are belugas. They're belugas because they don't have anywhere to go. And so they're living in almost like this virtual reality. Their whole entire life revolves around going to work and then scrolling their phone.
Right.
Their life revolves around an iPhone. And it's always the same bad-bodied women who want to body shame skinny women. And I see some people are saying, oh, well, Exoticals United, you guys are being fat phobic. You guys are body shaming. No, I'm not shaming you. If you want to be shaped like a refrigerator, then be shaped like a refrigerator. If you want to look like a linebacker, that's fine. I support linebackers. Linebackers do a good job at blocking the ball. They help teams win the Super Bowl. So if you want to look like a linebacker and go into the NFL, I support that. I fully support that. But it's like, have you ever noticed that the main women who will shame you if you're in shape, let's say you're wearing short shorts or you're wearing a crop top,
Right.
it's always a bad-bodied woman who is shaped like a sack of laundry that wants.
It's the truth. It's the ones who are not in shape. It's the ones who are fat, sloppy looking that are the most nastiest ones that got so much to say.
Wants to shame you for showing off your body. And it's like, yeah, of course I'm going to show off my body. I worked hard for this body.
Right.
I haven't had a slice of cake in 6 months.
Right.
So hell yeah, I'm going to show off my stomach. Hell yeah, I'm going to show off my toned booty. What am I supposed to do? Hide in the abyss like you?
Right.
Am I supposed to stay trapped in my apartment like it's a prison cell? And for all those women who say, oh, well, Tyla dresses like a hoe, or all these celebrities and stuff, they just dress like hoes. No, you're perceiving them as a hoe because you would be a hoe if you had a body like that. If you had the same body type as a Victoria's Secret model, you know damn well you'd be wearing belly shirts, you'd be wearing sports bras, you'd be wearing the same shit. So I don't want to hear the excuse that, oh, well, women, they just think they're better, and so they're just trying to show off. Okay, you're admitting that you put fit bodies on a pedestal because you're saying that it's a flex to have a nice body. But one of the benefits of having things to look forward to in life, first of all, not only is that good for your mental health, having things to look forward to.
Yes.
By the way, that's a part of why I love holidays. For those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know that I am extremely festive. I'm very dorky. I'm very nerdy. I celebrate every single holiday.
The thing that gets to me where you have to be careful is these type of women will try to manipulate you into, well, we're getting old and I'm old and this and that. They try to pull you into their dumb reality. We're not old when we're 40. And this is the limited reality that we have to be careful with, because when you just think about it, because see, this is what happened to me when I was 40, when I just turned just exactly 40, right? I was like, I still walk fast, I still look youthful. I was like, I need to get my health better, but I still look youthful and I walk fast and I'm moving around. I literally look good for 40. I was saying this to myself. And I almost was just like, almost slightly, almost feeling like I was immature and I needed to grow up more because of this. And this is that reality, that's limited reality. I had to realize, no, 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 no. I'm exactly what I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to look youthful because 40 is young. I'm supposed to be still walking fast because 40 is fucking young. Because matter of fact, I used to walk on the shorelines and I used to walk on the boardwalk, and I did a lot of walking in my 30s. I did a lot of getting up and jogging in my 30s, speed walking in my 30s. I did a lot of that. And I also realized I did a lot of beauty routines since my 20s. So the point is, I had to realize I cannot go into this limited reality of what the fuck I'm supposed to be. And then now life has elevated. And now I'm like, you know what? Now it's time to start Lookmaxing. See what I'm saying? Life has gone on and I've gotten older. And now it's time to start really building that morning routine. Give or take, I needed to sleep. Give or take, I needed to sleep. Give or take, now I learned about beauty sleeping. So now I got a nice little headboard here. So I need to sit up, find a way to sit myself up comfortable, get more pillows, sit myself up comfortable, and start beauty sleeping. And soon I'm going to have to start doing my beauty research. You see? So, which we're going to get into next, which is the symmetry of the face and what's classified as beautiful and why, and these different things. Okay, so let's get a little bit more into it, and let's go.
So Memorial Day, 4th of July, Juneteenth, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. I celebrated Mardi Gras. I got one of those little cakes. So I will celebrate every single holiday because I love how
This
the
girl.
holidays kind of represent getting in a festive mood. it always boosts my mood whenever it's a holiday and whenever I go in the
That's true.
grocery store.
I love
I
fall
love
season.
going in the grocery store and then seeing
Pumpkin
all the
spice season
cupcakes
is
and
my
all the
shit.
different cookies where they
That's like a
decorate
holiday.
it with like whatever holiday is going on. So when it comes to women who have this beluga mindset, it's like, bitch, that's why they created holidays. It's so you could have something to look forward to. You're
Right.
telling me you've got nothing in your life to look forward to? No holidays, no family members, going out with your sister, going to brunch, going to a concert, going to a museum by yourself, going to the park. You're telling me that you have done such a bad job at maintaining positive, healthy relationships, and you've done such a bad job at being grateful for what's going on in your life to the point where you're just going to sit in the bed and eat Doritos all day long. Women with a beluga mindset, they're not eating because they're hungry. They're eating because they want stimulation. The food stimulates their senses. They don't have anything else that's exciting. When you think about people who go downtown or they go sightseeing, why do they call it going to see the sights? Well, it's because you're going to stimulate your senses. You're looking at pretty things, you're looking at the lights during Christmas time, or you're looking at fireworks on 4th of July. So that's a form of stimulation. So you don't need the food as much when you're actually going out and being stimulated. So this weekend, I went to a festival with my friends and I got 30,000 steps within like 2 days, and I did not eat. So I was wondering, I was like, why am I so tired? And it was because I literally forgot to eat because we were at a festival. There was so much going on. There were people performing. There were like celebrities there. So I wasn't thinking about going to binge on cupcakes. I wasn't thinking about going to the gas station and getting a whole bunch of Twinkies
Right.
because I had plenty of stimulation. So women who have a beluga mindset, what they need to do instead of
Just like when I ate them chips, right? And I was munching on them chips. First of all, chips are messy as fuck. That's the first thing I realized. I said, I don't like this shit. Then I said, moving forward, I'm going to start eating dry fruit snacks. If I snack on anything, it's going to be dry fruit snacks with peanuts and stuff like that. It's not going to be this.
talking shit about women who are in shape, what they need to do is find a different way to stimulate themselves besides food. And this is why I also say that if a woman is bad bodied, she's probably bad at social climbing. And let me explain that term bad bodied because I already know people are going to be like, Exoticals United, you can't call people bad bodied. Okay, well, if you think your body looks bad, then according to your own talking points, you are bad bodied. You're bad bodied. Okay, I'm done being a troll. But it's like
Right.
when you're leveling up and when you are planning things for yourself,
Yes.
having a whole schedule for yourself, trust me, you're not even going to have time to think about food. Like, I
Yes.
already have my calendar. I told you guys already, I'm overbooked every weekend for the rest of the year. And part of that is because I have an online business. Also, it's because I'm trying to balance like my real life with my online stuff.
Right.
So I'm already double and triple booked every single weekend.
I gave myself more time to sleep. Okay. I gave myself more time to just rest. And so now that I've gave myself time to rest as well as do my challenges, now it's time for me to get back up again, right? And do some detailed things that I got to get done, right? As well as which actually is one, it's like two, you can say about two more big things I got to, challenging things I got to do in the house, right? Maybe three, okay? But the point is, once I get those things done, it's like I'm gonna have like I could really sit down at that desk and hone in. Honestly, I feel like now that I took taking the time to sit down and get more rest and things like that, and watch things like this and take notes in my journal and my self assessment journal and shit like that. I realized like all of that stuff has helped me now have my mind so clear that I can get back to my schoolwork again. You know what I'm saying? And I could get back a little bit more into my project. So as you see, I took a good little step away. I took a nice little step away, longer than what I thought I could, that I thought I could do. but I did it. And now when I get back to it, it's going to be the ideas and everything is going to flow in me a lot more.
I'm already booked up several days out of the week because I actually do stuff in my community, like where I live. I go to different places. And I feel like a lot of women with this beluga mindset, they overthink. So they feel like, oh, if I have nowhere to go, of course I'm going to sit home and watch Netflix and eat. And it's like, sis, do you know how big this world is? You don't have to go somewhere epic every single day. You don't have to go to a festival every day. Just go out to the park. You can go walk your dog. Oh my God, speaking of dogs, one of my neighbors, he has more of a beluga mindset, so he never leaves his apartment. And his dog, every single time this guy takes his dog out, the dog literally pees everywhere because it's been waiting so long just to go to the bathroom because he doesn't want to leave the apartment. And it's like, I don't want to live my life like that. That's actually a form of abuse. That's a form of abuse. If you were to lock your kids up in the apartment and you never allow them to leave, that's a form of abuse. So why would I abuse myself by only staying in my apartment? Why would I abuse myself by only staying in my bedroom 24/7? Oh, well, it's because I'm scared. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to go to the movies alone. Okay, that is more of a level down type of mindset. I don't care about going somewhere alone. Do you know how many events I am signed up for right now? I'm going to be going alone. So if one of my friends wants to come with me, they can, but they don't have to because, bitch, I'm the main character. The fuck? I don't know what you think this is, but yes, I'm the main character in my own life. So no, I'm not going to allow the fear of being alone to stop me from enjoying my life. So I will go out to the art museum. I will go to the park. I've actually gone to the park and like done a cute little picnic for myself. I'll get an iced coffee for myself. Sometimes I'll bring my yoga mat. I will bring a book or I'll listen to my audiobook because I'm the main character. And women who have this beluga mindset where they sit inside and they watch Netflix all day, they're
Right.
sabotaging themselves. I've talked on this channel before about how I don't really watch a lot of movies and stuff. I don't really watch a bunch of movies. I don't keep up with all the TV shows and stuff.
I do.
Number one, there are so many shows, I can't keep up with all of them. But it's like, I actually will start to get depression symptoms if I continuously just watch TV. I really will. I will start to get depression symptoms. I will start to naturally feel more sad and level down because my brain and my nervous system knows that, wait a minute, this is not real stimulation. I'm just watching somebody else live their dreams. If I'm watching a movie, I'm watching that actress live her dreams.
That's what people not understanding about character and storytelling. People don't understand it.
I'm watching a famous music artist living her dreams, winning her Grammys, going after her best life, leveling up. So if I find myself consuming more content than I create, first of all, I never do that, especially for me as a content creator. Content creation is one of my passions. So if I'm consuming more content than I'm creating, I'm doing it wrong. I'm leveling down at that point. And so when it comes to live,
I cannot. I see where she's going with that. I see where she's going with that. Storytelling and movies and stuff for me, that's my shit. That's my jam. That's what I do. That's my work. That's something I have to do. I more so read scripts, if anything, and let the script follow along with the story. But most of the time I'm a TV show buff.
living my best life, if I'm watching other people live their best lives more than I'm going out and living mine, I'm leveled down. So a lot of women who are belugas, they're watching other people's fitness blogs or they're watching people work out. You know how they have those videos of the girls lifting weights and stuff? It's like they'll be sitting there watching somebody else work out. And then it's like you could have been watching that while you were at the gym, doing it at the same time.
Right.
But because you want to stay trapped in your prison cell, apartment 115, that's your cell number, because you want to stay trapped in your prison cell, aka your apartment 24/7,
Right.
it's causing you to become even more of a beluga.
Exactly.
Because the only stimulation in your apartment is going to be food or whatever's on your phone. That's it.
Right.
That's the only stimulation in your apartment. So I don't want to train my body and my nervous system to use food as a way to cope with my own boredom. Because that's really what that is. women who sit around in their bed scrolling their phone for 2 hours and then they're eating a bunch of food out of a bag
Right.
like an animal. It's like, no, bitch, I'm not a dog. I don't want to eat these little tiny brown balls that you call Cocoa Puffs. It looks like dog food. A lot of the cereals and stuff, that is not even real food. It doesn't even look like real food. That literally looks like the type of food that you would feed a dog. And it's like, no, I'm not a dog. I'm not just going to sit here and be trapped. I'm going to take
Heather.
advantage of my youth. I'm going to enjoy my youth. A lot of basic Bettys and women who are bad bodied, you know, those women at your job who want to be Karens and stuff, a lot of those women are mad because they wasted away their youth. They wasted away their 30s. They wasted away the time that they had when they were younger. And so that's why they're leveled down and they've got diabetes.
Because it's the limited reality. The limited reality tells you when you get around this age, you get older, you're gonna get diabetes, you're gonna get sick, you're gonna get all these things. No, and they try to tell you it's hereditary. No, no, the mentality, the lifestyle, it's hereditary. Okay, the non self reflection is what's hereditary in your family. That's what it means. That's what all this stuff is caused for. See, those of us that have that spiritual understanding of what sickness really is in the body, and how, what, as they say in the book, the body keeps the score. Those of us that pay attention and realize that when you go out here and you attract a relationship, you're more likely to attract your trauma. Those of us that are likely to realize that, excuse me, those of us that actually take books, knowledge, information, and make it applicable to our life, realize that. And people who don't get sick and people who don't like to get sick will wake up. Sickness is my awakening. Sore throats, backaches, this, that, and the third is my awakening. I should have got my awakening when I got my strep throat at work, but the second time I got sick, it knocked me, it knocked me on my ass. Because I knew better. And I keep saying this. It has to already be in your conscious. You have to already be aware. Like, wait a minute. Because a lot of times being sick, overweight, all this stuff is a red light, is a red flag, is a red alarm in your life of that you're not living life the way that you're supposed to be living your life. You understand what I'm saying?
They have high blood pressure, they got heart disease, they have all this shit going on. They can barely walk, their knees aren't even working, their back is aching, their neck is all turned to the side and it's all crooked because they spent all their years just laying in bed 24/7. It's like now you permanently have a stiff neck because all you've been doing is laying on a pillow. Okay, I'm done.
Oh,
You know the ladies that have to walk around with like the neck brace or they have to walk around with a boot? Have you ever met somebody who's bad bodied and she always has something wrong with her? Her leg is broken, her arm is broken.
right.
She has to wear a neck brace. She has to walk with a cane. It's like, sis, you're 35. Why are you walking with a cane? That is a form of self abuse.
All of it is a form of self abuse, and all of it has a lot to do with the mind. I sat here and my body rests, not of laziness, it rests. And I mean, it's just, and I keep telling y'all, I let my body rest, I let my body sleep. And I journaled a bit, get up, journal, let my body rest, let my body sleep. This whole weekend, I just let my body rest, let my body sleep, because that's what my body needs right now. And so now I have to learn how to build a proper sleeping schedule as well as a schedule for myself for the work that I like to do. All of these different type of things play a major role in my life. You feel me? And understand something too. You know, you be at work, oh work, especially you ever work that involve. It don't even matter if it's a physical job or not. I'm starting to realize that you always have that person, right? Sick, going back and forth to the doctor. Something is always wrong. All this kind of shit, right? Notice that how unhappy and miserable they are towards people whose lives are not that way. Might be your own family member. And the thing is, the reason why that's happening to you is because they notice that you're not taking on the same symptoms as them. When I turned 40, the coworkers was like, "Welcome to 40," and hot flashes and this and that and back pain and this and that. And I was saying to myself, don't put that bad juju on me. They believe that is their reality, that is what's going to happen to you at that age. And so to my intelligence, as I sat back and self-reflected, and I sat back when I was sick and I was in this bed and I was self-reflecting, I said, that shit ain't normal. You're not supposed to be sick at 40. You're not supposed to have nerve pain and back pain at 40. You're not supposed to be sick. You're not supposed to be on no cane. You're still young. What do you mean? You come in your 20s, which is damn near still being in your teens, like a 20s, teens, whatever the fuck the 20s is. And then some of us don't ever want to be in our 20s again. Fuck 20s. Then you come into your 30s and you're just like, damn, I like it over here. I like the way this feel more grown, feel more sexy. Let me take care of myself more. Let me work out more. This was my 30s. I'm speaking for my 30s. And other women I've seen in their 30s. Let me take myself to rich places with $1 million houses and around rich people and wealth and all this type of shit when I was in my 30s. Come on, come on, let's go visit different houses and stuff. Let's go put our energy in these places. You never know what we can manifest. All kind of shit. The drive and goals that I had for somebody to do some stupid ass shit. Stupid ass shit. And see, here's the thing. I had to come to realize, because I was trying to collapse time in one frequency, while frequency in my life that no longer was supposed to be in my life was still there. And that was the conflict in my life. That was a major conflict in my life in my 30s. And so as I hit mid 30s was a slow down point for me. It was actually it was a midlife crisis point for me. That's when I had my crisis. And then from that 36 to 40, this is when life really started, like when I really started sitting down with my life, doing things and creating and whatever. But I really started knowing my life between 36 to 40. And that's when I made the decision to cut people off. And when I cut people off, I was like, oh, okay. This what it feel like. This what it truly feel like to walk into your frequency and go and live your life. And then as life went on, again, I found myself again doing that thing when I was at work, and I was just like, I recognized it. And then that year passed by, and when I got sick recently, 3 weeks ago, that was all I wrote. 4 weeks ago, that was all she wrote. That was all she wrote. That was all she wrote.
If it is considered abuse, would you do that to a child? Anything that you're doing to yourself right now, staying locked in your apartment, only being allowed to go to work and then come home. If you were to do that to a child, your child would resent you because you're kind of over sheltering the child. So it's like, why would I do that type of behavior with myself, where I'm sheltering myself
With a
so much
ugly
so to
look,
the point where I can't
with the
even leave my
loose
apartment?
pants like that.
And then it's like, yeah, of course I have no motivation. I'm just trapped in this cell. I'm trapped in my neighborhood. A lot of women will be like, oh, I hate my city. I don't like the neighborhood I live in. Bitch, you haven't even been outside of your house in 6 months. What are you talking about? I don't like my neighborhood. What neighborhood? Do you even know what's in your neighborhood? Have you even tried to do anything fun? Oh, my city is not fun. The state I live in is not fun. My country is not fun. Name 5 cities that you've even been to in your state, and then I'll listen to you. Because a lot of the women who have this beluga mindset, a part of the reason why they're not motivated to like get healthy is because they don't experience anything. A lot of them have a closed-minded point of view, and so they're too scared to do stuff by themselves. They're scared of people looking at them. So you're telling me I have to turn my apartment into a prison cell because I'm afraid of people looking at me?
And another thing too about the beluga mindset, they'll try to make you sick along with them. They'll try to tell you things about your health and try to make it seem like something like, oh, you got hormone issues. Oh, you're going to get diabetes. They try to pull you into their realm. You have to stay away from people like this. You have to build a frequency in your life where, like I keep telling you, these motherfuckers will get out your way. And that if they even try to be in your way, you know how to get them out of your way. I'm serious. Because the thing about this is, again, it falls into intelligence. What's so hard about eyelashes? I understand if you may want to know what kind of eyelashes I had or where I went to get them. But what's so like what you need to really know about my eyelashes? You know what I'm saying? If you already put on makeup and shit, there's nothing that's so unique about what I got on, right? Then on top of that, there's the other aspects of the questioning, like, what are you really asking me for? Do you see what I'm saying? And see, if you do present to somebody, read this book, people may get offended because you're saying read a book. So it's just all, again, it's all a mind, it's all intelligence. Some people just live for being sick. Some people, sickness is where they try to get people to feel some kind of sympathy for them. Sickness is how they get somebody to be a pick me and get somebody's attention in their lives. You have to be careful with people. But this is why you have to vibrate your life to the life that you have it. And you can't feel no type of way about it.
Me? Oh my god, so scared. Their eyes are going to turn and look towards me, so I can't go out now. I'm just going to be trapped in my cave. I'm going to be trapped in the abyss of apartment 315 because I'm scared that people are going to look at me. It's like, yeah, no wonder you have no motivation. There's nothing, there's no reward. There's no light at the end of the tunnel for women with that beluga mindset. They don't have any fun events or like fun hobbies or friendships. They haven't invested in creating friendships. Instead, they'd rather spy on people's YouTube channels, try to dox people. They'd rather stalk people online. They'd rather leave mean comments under pretty girls'
And this is why I have been saying for years. I understand why some investors be like, I hate the internet. I hate the internet. I don't hate the internet. Okay. I don't hate it. I mean, I actually love the internet. I actually love the opportunities and things that I find here on the internet and social, especially social media. So I will never say that I hate it, right? And it's not ever gonna go anywhere, y'all. I just want y'all to know that. Like, there's they found the key to monitoring us. Okay. America will not do well if they can't monitor the people. Okay. Now, another thing, I always said super talented, beautiful people just don't belong online. And if you are online, you can't make yourself accessible. People have to pay for your accessibility. And on top of that, you're not friends with nobody. Everybody is a client, everybody is a fan, everybody is whatever title that you give them. Because take it from me, that's how the fake friend, weirdo bitch, stalking bitch happens.
Instagram pages and stuff. So they haven't set any goals for themselves. They haven't like given themselves any direction. A lot of women with this beluga mindset, part of why they have no motivation to lose weight is because they have no direction. It's like once you lose the weight, then what? Then what are you going to do? Stay trapped in your apartment? Okay, I wouldn't want to lose weight either. I would go ahead and be fat too. I would be fat, ugly, I'd have bad skin, my whole entire body, I would look like a different person if all I was going to do was stay trapped in a cell for the rest of my life. I wouldn't have any motivation either because it's like, yeah, you don't get to go out and enjoy your pretty privilege. You don't get to go out and enjoy your health or enjoy your body. So a lot of women with this beluga mindset, they don't give themselves the chance to enjoy themselves.
Right?
And whenever I talk about social
They
climbing
don't
on this
know what
channel, I'm
enjoying
not talking
themselves
about
is,
kissing.
because what you have to know is they're stuck somewhere. There's an arrested development. And the one thing about the past three people, really more than three, are the people who I have come in my life and gone, I realized that that's the energy they do. Like something with me, like if I try to pull myself in the now, try to be in the now, they always try to pull you back into the past and past this. They got some dealing with someone from the past coming back into their lives. They still want to talk about what they did with their cousins and their family. They still hold on to a cousin that was killed or murdered. They don't really move on in life. And this is what the creator's code is saying. You can't, the way that the imagination works, the way that the reality works for you is this: it's always going to come, it's going to manifest exactly what you want it to. So it doesn't understand what the past is or the future. It understands frequency. And that's why people's frequency end up getting sick, back pain, nerve damage, diabetes, cancer, and all these different type of illnesses, because they're not here. Even in their frequency, they're not here. And let me tell you something about that. You can miss so much in life from being in the past. You will miss opportunities. You will miss all the things that was at your feet because you are looking too far in the past. You have to be in the now. If What do you do if something from the past is haunting you? It's something in that that you must look at. Write it down. Be vulnerable. Write it down. Talk to Chat GTP about it. Write it down. But there's something in that you have to look into and say, why does this bother me? And if you have to take yourself to a certified therapist to dig into that, then that is what you do. You have to simplify your life. Whatever it is that you're aiming for, you're going to have to be in the now in order to really be in the vibration and receive it. And it's nothing in, like I said, that one thing that may kind of haunt you from the past may be the thing that fuels you now, maybe the emotion that fuels you for now, that might be the alchemy of what fuels you today. You never know. But you have to come into it in the now. What does it mean for me now? Who am I now? Could that happen again to me now? How smart am I now? You have to do that because these people are not living in the now. Listen, like this. I can tell you what's going on in my neighborhood. I can tell you what I see. My neighborhood's pretty quiet. But I can tell you even the map of what's going on around this neighborhood because I walk. Excuse me. Because I walk. And you know what's so funny? I talk about walking. I have a neighbor. He walks every fucking where. Do y'all hear me? He walks every fucking where. And I'm just like, I need to be like this neighbor. I need to start walking everywhere again. And I mean, he walks everywhere. He be all over this neighborhood, all over the streets. And I'm like, I need to start doing that. And he be having a long sleeve and pants, and it's hot outside. And he's a slender guy. He's a tall, slender guy. And I'm like, I need to start walking. I need to put on whatever comfortable, appropriate clothes that I have in here and just take myself for a walk. And if I got to give myself a jog, maybe jog around the school or something, or do something because I need to start getting my walk on in the morning time, right? And so it's all of these different things that I think about, and this just hit me now. So, getting back to this topic, this person probably don't know a damn thing about their neighborhood because they don't come outside. And sometimes there's people that they don't like what they see in their neighborhood. So that makes them not come outside. So they don't have the intelligence to be like, just take yourself somewhere else. And why do you take yourself somewhere else? Because you pull your energy somewhere else so that that may be the place that'll be the next location that you go.
People's behinds. I'm talking about putting yourself in rooms that raise your standards. I'm talking about being around people that push you to be better. So, no, not just on the
Right,
internet. So, get your pretty ass up, go to the cooking class, go to the biking group,
right,
go to the volleyball club, whatever it is that you've been putting off, go to that because that's technically a form of social climbing because you're surrounded by other people who are learning a skill. You're surrounded by other people who want to connect.
right.
A lot of women,
See,
they
again,
underestimate the power of
again,
going to like
we have another woman who's clearly curvy. She's um she's definitely East Indian or Middle Eastern, definitely. But clearly curvy, clearly a thick woman. It looks like she's probably doing something extra for her belly, but she keeps working out good. She'll slim up.
conventions. You know how they have those business networking mixers and like these job fairs and stuff? A lot of women underestimate the power of doing that, but that's a form of social climbing because
Yes,
you're surrounded by people who have this mindset of expanding. So they're not closed minded. People talk so much shit about people being closed minded. And it's like, okay, who's really closed minded? Not only are you closed minded, but you're also closed into your apartment 24/7.
yeah.
If that's not a manifestation of being closed minded, I don't know what
I
is.
don't know who that is, but I like that top.
Women who have this beluga mindset, if you really think about it, you're fat because you're antisocial. That's why you're fat. You are fat because you are
Yes,
antisocial. You have no standards. So you're not going to receive any external validation
they
and
don't.
you're not going to.
I remember one time a friend had a situation in the neighborhood. She overheard a little boy say something about just something very inappropriate, and it made her uncomfortable. I said, "Follow where he live at. Follow him. See where he live at, and pull his mother to the side and tell her what you heard. Right? Tell her what's going on. Right?" She was like, "No, I don't want to talk to nobody. No, I don't want to say nothing to none of them." And da 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 da. And I mean, I understood, and she just was so uh judgmental. And I mean, I don't know what she was seeing, so I can't say of how the young ladies was dressed and what the boys were saying and how they talked, and she just was so disturbed by the behavior and the actions of these children. And see, the thing is, this is something in life that I did when I went to the PTA. I went inside, I went inside the neighborhood to the with the people and stuff like that. And that probably was one of my biggest mistakes, but it really wasn't. I learned a lot. I can't say it was a mistake. But the thing is, when you are faced in the now and you're looking at your neighborhood and you're looking at your children and you don't like the neighborhood that you live in, right? You have to start making money moves. Okay. I mean, you have to start making some real money moves. That means that grocery is going to have to go down. You're going to probably have to build a new eating habit in that household, right? You're going to have to start really, because the thing is, especially for families, the thing about y'all is y'all can get down payments and loans and stuff for a house. Y'all are more likely to get it. You know what I'm saying? And so you start putting your frequency in a place of where else you would like to raise and move your children. Or here's another thing: if the finances is not there yet, you take your children and yourself and you pull them out of that neighborhood that they know. So you put them in a more wealthy neighborhood or something like that. But I'm here to tell you, children are fucking children. Okay? You can't really get away from how children act and behave. They're going to act and behave how they are, no matter what tax bracket it is. They're children, okay? And I'm speaking this from experience. But I will say this about pulling them around other people. And for those of us in the inner city, we understand this. A lot of those children, especially of other cultures, they're in the library all the time. Their parents force, they're pushed to be between preteen to teenage years to read medical and law books. They're pushed to do that shit.
Internally validate yourself because you didn't set any goals anyway. So you're going to start eating more just for comfort or because of boredom or because there's no one watching you. There's no one expecting anything out of you. Nobody's counting on you. Nobody's depending on you. So that's why I say that women who have this beluga mindset and they sit in their rooms 24/7 and just eat and watch Netflix, well, it's because they didn't go out of their way to have other people care about their existence. And it's like, why should other people care about your existence if you don't even care about your own existence? Clearly, you don't care about your own existence in this world if you just want to stay trapped in your apartment eating Fritos 24
This
7.
this is why
And
I've been saying to y'all, it's like this is all coming down to intelligence. And I'm telling, listen, I never told y'all my story because I just don't go in that space. But I've been there of being in the bed, eating food all day, eating sandwiches all day, chopped cheese all day, chips, cookies, puffs, all day. Okay? Smoking weed. I've been there. I've been down that road. I've been down the road of saying, fuck it. I'm going to walk the shorelines. I'm going to go for a job. And somebody having a fucking problem with it. And that's when I had to wake up and realize that if you're going to be with somebody who they don't know nothing about that, they didn't grow up around health and taking care of the self. One thing I will say about my mother is she didn't accept herself being fat. Once she hit her 30s, that was the year for her. She really worked out. She really did what she needed to do. You know what I'm saying? She really hit the gym. She really did things that she needed to get done for herself. And I watched my mother do that. You know what I'm saying? And I have to say the stepfather. He pick up them, he get that weight and he start lifting them weights and he just keep on going. He don't stop. So I do have parents that have been taking care of themselves for a long time. My brother is a gym rat. My sister, she never lets her weight get too crazy. I will say that about her. She has a boundary because she's a pastry chef. So, she her weight goes one way, then it goes back down, and it goes one way, then it goes back down. So her weight fluctuates, but she never goes overweight. My little brother, he just he's athletic, football player, right? And I'm just saying, this is just a piece of what I'm around. So I'm saying all this to say to you that you know it has to energetically be there already. And that's why for me, I like, I can't be looking like this. I can't be feeling like this. I can't be doing this. And I got myself up. I still fought for myself. I still fight for me. You see what I'm saying? That's what I love about myself. I will fight for me. I don't give a damn. You see what I'm saying? I'll get up and be like, what? What's the science of beauty? What makes the eyes beautiful? What makes the nose, the mouth beautiful? What makes the face beautiful? What is our skin? What is our muscles? What are these things? Let me go learn. I will do shit like this because it comes down to what? Intelligence. And that's how you do things to your intelligence. These people's intelligence sit here and just I'm like, I mean, go do my. I was doing my art. I'm doing this and that. Oh, I'm hungry. I need a sandwich. I don't even want to eat when I'm creating. I can drink and sip water all day. I could sip cold water, hot water. I could sip on tea. Most of the time, I like to sip tea before I do anything. I don't like to really indulge in food like that when I'm really in my creative mode. I don't want to eat. And if I eat, I know that that means I'm taking a full break. Like I'm taking a break from the project. I'm not going to jump back into it. And so these little things matter about your level of intelligence and how you move in life.
Eating red dye number 5 and stuffing your body with gluten, of course other people are going to treat you bad. You treat yourself bad.
And I used to sit here
So it's like,
and I used to and I remember one woman had said, oh, about her husband, how fit he was and shit. And then she was like, oh, I fattened him up. Okay, so you said you fattened him up. And so now let me tell y'all something else too. I want to make something very clear to you. When you see somebody who is overweight, when you see somebody who is fat and lazy and they're in a relationship, somebody around them plays a part of that activity. Especially if you see that person in the past and they used to play sports or they used to be something or they used to work out. Oh, no, no, no. Somebody is playing a part in how that person is what they are. There was a woman who she was very overweight. Now, I didn't know this woman. This is the story I heard about her. And a lot of people criticized her for the choice she made. But let me finish telling. So the woman was overweight. I'm talking about, they said she was huge, like almost like huge. And she had a husband. They said she got her life back. She lost all that weight and she fucking left him. Okay. And I said, I wonder what they was like. It's so wrong that she left him. Everything he did for everything he did. I said, that's probably was the problem of why she got so fat. Right. And then I thought about it. I said, I wish I knew this. I wondered what this woman's story was before she got with him. I wonder what the hell her life story is before she got with him. And I say all that to say that you got people who they are the cause of people's illnesses in their lives. Because if that person were to be well or were to get well, their insecurities are going to kick in. And you have to be careful with that yourself. Because when I think about it now, and I don't like to think about my past, I was like, I wasn't doing nothing wrong. I was keeping my health together. I was hitting the gym because of me. Shit, you started hitting the gym. I was active. And let me tell you, I started taking my supplements. That's another thing. Those supplements made me. It was one particular supplement I take, and I stand by that supplement to this day. And that supplement kept me going. My mind wanted to run. My mind wanted to get physical. It wasn't just about the mind. It wasn't just my mind. My body wanted to move. That supplement. I wanted to jog the shorelines. Trust me, jogging in the sand is very complicated. Walking in the sand is complicated, especially you walk the shorelines. I wasn't getting my feet wet. I was just on the shoreline, you know, especially on the boardwalk. Um, all of these different type of things I'm trying to tell you. And so understand that you got people that they don't have it in their brain to just get up and make life happen for them. They make life happen to them. And they're very comfortable with that. And they'll try to pull you there. I had one to say, that's why your skin looks so good because you lived on the beach. What? What? You can't just take care of your fucking skin? You can't do that. You don't got the intelligence to just look at yourself in the mirror, say you look ugly, and decide to do something about it. That's the difference. You get up and you do something about it. You don't just sit there and be like, I'm ugly. What kind of shit is that? I didn't like what the fuck I saw in the mirror. I was pissed off about the way my fucking skin looked on one side of my cheek. I was pissed off at how dark my motherfucking skin got because I didn't have no fucking sunscreen. I was pissed off. I wasn't pissed off. Let me take it back. I was not happy about what I saw. And I said, fuck that. I'm changing this shit. I ain't accepting this. See how that works? I ain't accepting this. Gonna get me some skin brightening, lighten up my skin the way I want it to look, back to my caramel complexion, the way I want it to look. Take care of my face more, do my face yoga, do my skincare, brush my teeth better, decide if I want to get some Invisalign for my teeth. Understand? Fix my nose to the way I want my nose to be. Fix my hair. See, that's the difference. That's intelligence. You take shit back with your mind. You say, hold on, this ain't my reality. So whether you knew the creator's code or not, you're already in the creator's code. That was the creator's code when I said, hell no, I ain't accepting this shit. This ain't my reality. This ain't what the fuck I look like when I look in the mirror. You got me fucked up. Is this my body? Nah, no the fuck is not. We changing this. We changing the way we eat. We going more plant-based. We gonna cook more plant-based. Fuck that. I just ordered a fucking from Hungry Root. They about to send me some shit. I ain't about to sit here and hunt down in this fucking place. I'm gonna make my life. And that's how you do it. You make your life. Because it's about your level of intelligence.
It's like you can't get mad if other people treat you how you treat yourself. But
Yep.
some women are eating not because they're hungry, but it's because they are lonely. They're eating out of a place of loneliness.
Right.
So that's why they actually call it comfort food. So they're using the food as a way to self-soothe. Some people eat because they're anxious. And for those people who are like, oh, I don't want to go out anywhere because I'm going to be by myself, it's going to make me feel more lonely. No, it's actually not. There are studies that show that even going out by yourself, that's still better than just staying locked up in your room
Yes.
24/7.
Go outside.
Because a lot of people go out by themselves. If you go to the movies, you will probably see people by themselves. You go to the grocery store by yourself. You go run errands by yourself. So doing something fun, it's no different than you running errands by yourself.
Right.
So you're telling me that I'm allowed to go to the gas station by myself. I can go do all this bullshit that I don't want to do. I can do all the sucky stuff by myself. But then when it comes to something fun, I have to punish myself and I'm not allowed to go out because, a man didn't take me out to the movie. So I can't go to the movies now. Some fake ass bitch that I called my friend, she didn't ask me to hang out with her, so now I can't go anywhere.
And
no.
and there's another part of this that plays a part. Happy confidence. You gotta have the confidence to get up and be like, fuck this, I'm going out by myself. You gotta have the confidence to be like, all right, no, I don't need nobody else. Let me go do what I like to do. You have to sit down with yourself and get to know yourself. That's another thing. They're not sitting down to know themselves. They're walking around projecting. They're causing all kind of problems. Let me share a story with y'all. Let me show y'all about being socially inept, right? So let's just call the lady. I'm trying to think of a name. Shit, fuck it. I want to say a name, but I can't think of another name. Let's just call her give me a name, y'all. Stephanie. There we go, Stephanie. All right, so it's a lady named Stephanie, right? Stephanie got it going on. Stephanie got her own trucking business. Stephanie loves motorcycles. Stephanie is doing her damn thing. Her children are in college. Stephanie doing her thing, right? Stephanie liked this guy who's in a motorcycle club, right? So the fake friend, right? We're gonna have to refer to them as this. And she goes and talks about her relationship and how this guy was pretty much trying to tell her that he wanted her business that she worked hard for. She couldn't believe that he was trying to get her to give him her business. Okay? All right. And she was devastated that this person even asked, all right, this question. So the fake friend says, Black men hate women like you. Now, those of us that are divested, we understand what she said, right? We understand that. But it was the tone and the way she said it. And so Stephanie told her she was ate the fuck up. And I was like, saying to myself, well, damn, you could have said that a little bit better to your friend. And so therefore, when she said it, she don't realize that it sounded like she was telling Stephanie that she hated women like her. See what I'm saying? So this is what I'm trying to tell you about these women. They're socially inept and they don't know how to talk to people. But let me turn it around for you. So one day she's talking to Stephanie and her old coworker, and they flipped the game on her, and they start telling her, you need to start taking the advice for yourself. They gave her intervention, like you need to take advice for yourself. And she did not like it. She really felt some type of way about that later on. She just went with the flow, but she was pissed off that they did that to her. Like, they're gonna just give me an intervention like that, this and that. She got mad. Well, what are you getting mad for? You always have something to say to other people. What are you getting mad for? People who've known you for years are telling you, like, and then they end up talking about some shit from the past when they was talking to her. And so here's what point I'm making here. This woman, the beluga mindset, you got to understand one thing with her. The beluga, number one, does not have friends that have the best lives. So therefore, your life is probably in shambles when you are her friend as well, because now you're living in the reality of what she lives, right? The beluga's mindset does not have the level of intelligence to pull herself out of where she is. That's why you got to get away from her. You just have to look at it for what it is. You are looking at yourself in the mirror and you did not decide to change it. That's what you did. You looked in the mirror and said I'm ugly and you didn't do nothing about it. You looked in the mirror, said I'm ugly, went to a dermatologist, started getting your skincare together, and then you still got upset and you start projecting on the people about how good their skin looks over yours when you're not taking why you're not doing the wise choices in your life. You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. It all comes down to that mind of theirs, the frontal lobe, whatever the fuck is going on in there. It ain't, it's like it ain't clicking all the way. And this is where the jealousy and envy goes at in her mind. She would sit here and be jealous and envious of a woman who has a certain type of body, but she'll never go out to make herself go have that body. You see the level of how level of intelligence works. She'll get mad at people like, oh, that she always jogging and this and that. And I remember when she was like this, and I remember when she was like that, and I remember while that whole person, a whole nother person, a whole nother being in their life, that person don't even weigh the same that they did how many years ago that person remembers them while they're sitting there. They don't know how to live in the now. They don't know what that is. They talk this shit. That's the thing. She's very good at talking as if she understands and knows shit, but she don't live none of this shit. Just trashy. Just bullshit.
The main character. So I'm going to go somewhere.
Right.
I'm going to walk around somewhere. I'm going to get my steps in at the mall or somewhere fun. And I'm going to live my best life and I won't be thinking about food. And that leads me to my next point. Women who have a beluga mindset, part of why they have so much food noise is because they have nothing else to think about. You don't have shit to think about. You're just going to work, coming home, and watching TikToks. So your mind is basically empty. Your mind is literally empty. All of that energy that you have in your brain, all of those neurons firing in your brain, they have nothing to work towards. Your mind naturally wants to solve problems.
Yes.
So instead of thinking about food, you could literally be thinking about how can I level up? How
That's
can I
right.
become wealthy?
How
How
can
can I
I
invest in
better?
my
How
401k?
can I step
How
my
can I
life
go
up?
get an Airbnb and start doing that and start renting out a
Remember
space?
one time I was depressed in my 20s, and I was so hung up on this particular family member and the problems and abandonment. I was so stuck on that shit. And they said to me, Minty, you need to step yourself up. You need to step yourself up. You need to go try to get you a city job and get you some more money. You need to get out that apartment. You need to go, just go ahead and do what you got to do. I'll take the child while you go get your life together. Whatever you got to do to get your life together, I'll take the baby. You just go ahead and you just go step yourself up, right? This is what I was told in my fucking 20s. But hang ups, people, things. Yeah, I sure did. I sure did listen. And I start dressing up. And I think about it now. I start dressing up more and this and that. But there was things in my life I didn't hang up. See, I didn't know how to be alone like I should have known how to be. I thought I was alone, but I didn't know how to be alone. So there was things and I didn't have guidance. I didn't really know how to do these things either. Do you get what I'm saying? And so I just was in the wind. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't like the part of the family member, if I think about even myself, I would have been like, okay, look, here's how you do it. Here's what I got for you. So you can do this. So you can do that. Here, I got you this, and I got you this, and I got you this. But I was such a person, I didn't like things given to me. I always wanted things the hard way, you see? Instead of just going across the street, hey, all you have to do is go across the street. I gotta go around the corner. I gotta go up the block, from that block, go around that block, go all the way around the other block, and then I'll go across the street. That was my problem. And it's okay because that was a reality that I had built for myself because of life, right? I was young in my 20s. And so all of these things play a part. Now, in your 20s, it is what it is, right? We all know that by now, right? But once you hit past that Saturn return 28 to 30 and you move on with your life, you start to wake up, or at least you should have an awakening, right? And you start to do and make different choices, and you take your life back, because that's self-love, right? These people don't got that. They don't comprehend these things. And this is why when you walk outside, you wondering why you in all your gloriousness, minding your motherfucking business, drinking your Starbucks, whatever the fuck you doing, just in your own world, living your life. You can feel this energy of people projecting shit onto you because that's how much they don't like themselves. That when you come into a space, there are certain places I don't even want to go anymore. Do y'all understand it? Like there are certain places where I'm like, I don't want to go there no more. I'm just gonna go to Walmart. I'm serious, because the frequency there is just, it's just not it.
How can I plan events in my city? If you have a mind that is just blank and empty, of course food is naturally going to pop up in your head, because that's just a base level need. If somebody is in survival mode, all they're thinking about is food, water, and shelter. So if you find yourself only thinking about food 24/7 and only thinking about the basics, paying your bills, okay, that means they're in survival mode. So this is
Those are the
why a
most
lot of people
comprehensive.
stereotype fat people as being in survival mode, because it's like, clearly you've got emotional issues, or maybe you need some therapy or something. In fact, that could be a hobby right there. Instead of me sitting in the room watching Netflix, I'm going to find a therapist in my area, and I'm going to go to the actual office, or I'm going to go to a support group. I actually found that there was a free support group literally in my neighborhood. There is a free support group for women of color in my neighborhood.
Wow.
I would have never known that if I didn't look it up on Eventbrite. So all that.
There's some kind of cookout party shit that's coming around. It don't never be in my neighborhood. It be other places. Well, I don't know. I threw the paper away. I wanted that shit off my door.
That time that these belugas are spending scrolling on their phones, they could be looking up events, they could be looking up free support groups, they could be looking up free workout classes that they have at the local park. If your life is boring, it's because you are boring.
That's right.
Because you are the common denominator in your life.
Yes.
So if your life is boring and basic and bland, it's because you yourself are boring and basic and bland. I said what I said.
I've heard these bitches say I'm basic, and they're comfortable being basic. And I just be like, what does that even mean when you say it? And this is why you have to be very, very mindful of people, and you have to live your life fully. Okay. Somebody who is doing art versus the person who dedicates their life to art is a whole different beast. Okay. Someone who dedicates their life to art does not have time to be on the phone with nobody. That's just the facts. Okay. Now, somebody who life is whose life is, say that their life is art, say that they want to be an artist. Yeah, they're going to get up and sketch and do some artwork, but it's just, it ain't what it is. And this is why you have to build your caliber of people. That, like I said, that lady who I was like, hey, should I just do a spec script and rewrite this whole show? Da 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 da. I like, cause that's the way I'm gonna learn, right? And she was like, yeah, that's a great idea. Of course, she's gonna tell me that's a great idea because she has published work. She has films. She has short films. She has work that she's still doing. This woman's located in a whole nother state. She just had an event. And I was like, is this virtual? She was like, no. But she had bought food and everything. I like, damn, I wish I could have made it. So of course somebody like that is going to encourage, yeah, write that, do that, practice that. Because that's what they probably did themselves. Somebody who's a true artist, creative, they push, they encourage, they teach. They don't sit around and talk about what life in the past was like. They don't bitch about their relationship, watching the person in their relationship love another person over them. They don't sit around and be like, I want them to cut off this person, their own mama, and this and that. That's not the life of someone who living their life in art, right?
My life is exciting because I'm an exciting person. I have a lot of stuff that I plan out for myself. So I will make an entire calendar for myself. I will look up different fun things that I can go do by myself
Right.
because I'm not a boring person.
It's the
I am
velvet
exciting. And so of course my
jacket
life
thing.
is going to reflect that excitement. So women with this fat mindset where they're constantly eating, they're looking for excitement.
Ooh.
So the cupcakes are exciting to them. Going to the grocery store is the most exciting thing to them because that's one of the only places that they go to. Think about it. The grocery store actually is exciting because there are thousands of different items in there. There's all this bright packaging. Sometimes there are people
What the
handing
fuck
out
is this?
samples.
Is that
You
the
actually get to
basketball
have
player? Oh,
social
that's
interactions
Kobe
with people. Think about it.
and
A
Tony
lot of
Braxton
women who are
and
bigger,
Samara.
a lot of them don't just order their groceries online. They don't. They go to the grocery store. They want to go drive to the grocery store and walk through the aisles. They want to look at all the food. They want to look at all the choices. Why do they do that when they could just order online? Well, it's because they're not seeking food, they're seeking stimulation. They want the excitement. They're trying to
Hold
cure their
on.
boredom. And the only way they know how to cure it is by
I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie. Love delicious food. Love to eat delicious food. But you know what? I love me some vegan food too. I'm a foodie. See that? See how that works? You can't be unconscious of your health when you're already been conscious of your health. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't when you're sitting. I had read a quote. You remember that? Anybody who been here? It said it was a quote. I get a lot of wisdom on YouTube comments more than anything. It says, if you don't eat your food as medicine, you will eat you will eat food. If you don't eat your food as medicine, you will eat medicine as your food. And when I got sick and I had to take them big old fucking pills from that box, do y'all know that quote came back to me? I said that shit out loud. I said, if you don't eat your food as medicine, you will eat medicine as food. I said that shit when I looked at that shit. And I knew then that life had to change. How many motherfucking beluga whales, as y'all call them, right? I'm going by the words y'all use here. Do you think this way? The beluga does not have a mindset like this. I need you to understand what frequency you're dealing with. The beluga does not have a mindset this way. Even if you tell her that, guaranteed you she's going to have some slick, clap back, come back, dumb shit to say to you. Or she going to frown her face up at you for saying it. She's not health conscious. Her life is, she can't see, this is the thing with her. She can't balance work life and all that stuff. And I know some people say there's no balance to that, but she don't know how to do it. She don't know how to pre-cook the food, put it in the pan, leave it, go to work. So whoever gets there, when they're ready to, they get home, let them know what you cooked, how much time it's going to take. If they know how to cook, you don't have to tell them. They could just throw it in the oven, right? Just throw that shit in the oven. So the food will be done by the time you get home. See what I'm saying? And technically, if they home, they can do the cooking, right? But depending on who you are, I know I did. I used to just get up and just pre-cook everything in that pan. That was my. I'm telling you, the aluminum pans is my best friends. Put them up in my bestie, them that aluminum pan, and toss. And they could just toss it in the oven when they got there because it's dangerous for me to do that before I leave. It was way dangerous. So, you know what I'm saying? So that was the option. But the mind of the beluga is struggle. I gotta clean up. I gotta cook. Then I gotta clean the kids' room. Then I gotta get back to what I was doing in my project, and then trying to run my business and this and that. Then I got this friend, and then my sister, and then my other sister got this going on. They have a hard struggle mentality. That's all they know. And when they see that that's not your life, they feel some type of way.
going to the grocery store. And that's because their life is boring, it's very mundane. All they do is go to the store, go to the gas station, go to work, and that's it. So they don't know any better. They don't know of anywhere else to go that can offer them the same amount of stimulation. Another thing too is that a lot of bigger people, they're not in proximity to high standard people. So friends who work out, people who
Yes.
care about their image,
Yes.
especially when it comes to dating too.
And see, understand something else about them too, especially not being in proximity to people like that. They energetically are not even going to attract it because of the frequency that they're on. See, the frequency that I'm on, I always notice when I head out in a car that the neighbor is walking around. And people even tell me, hey, I saw your neighbor. I saw him all the way up there. There go your neighbor again. Oh, there go your neighbor. Every time you turn around, it's like a damn game. Everybody tells me how much they see my neighbor and how far he walks. And then it hit me one day. I need to go walk. Because I said it one day. I said, shit, I should go walking with him. He gets up early in the morning, go to his walk. I should go start walking with him. And then it all hit me. It all hit me. And so these are little things. The beluga well ain't gonna try no shit like that. Even if she lives in a nice neighborhood, she still ain't gonna catch the vibrations of somebody running and jogging all day. She's not. She's never going to be in proximity. She may lie and claim that she's been in proximity to certain type of people, but she's not really in proximity to these people, and she damn sure not doing what they do.
I've noticed a lot of bigger women, they'll have this femcel mindset. They will be fantasizing about some guy who's in shape. And it's like, okay, you're never going to come into contact with people like that because you literally don't even reflect the type of image that those people would want to be around.
That's such a cute sweater. Yo, this goes back to Risa Tisa. That bitch was delusional. That bitch was delusional because Risa Tisa, the thing about her is that she really thought that she was going to attract a millionaire at a fast food joint. And those of us, we said that. We were like, man, ain't no millionaire going to no fast food joint. Because those of us that know, we know that people who have money, they don't. Why do you listen? Who do you think Whole Foods, Trader's Joe, and all this stuff is for? Starbucks. When you see these things in your neighborhood has been gentrified, love. Your neighborhood has been gentrified. Those three places I just mentioned. So who made these places? I've been to Trader Joe. Trader Joe is the shit. Word. Trader Joe is the shit. Like any type of healthy vegan goddamn grocery thing you can think of, Trader Joe got it all, baby. And then Trader Joe got that good ass salad in the back to the side, wherever your Trader Joe is, man. Love Trader Joe. But who was Trader Joe? Uh, what did I say? And Starbucks is for. There was another store I said. I forgot that fast. Who you think that shit was for? It was for people with money. It was for the wealthy. It was for the ones who are vegan, vegetarian, and keep their health together. It was for them to get their ass up and they don't have to scramble through the grocery aisle to go to that little whack ass corner to have some vegan or vegetarian options for food. Nobody got time for all that. Or have to go in the back with the meat and have your plant-based meat, ground beef meat shit, all this shit. To only find out that there's real meat in it and all that shit. Why not just go to a store that's plant-based? Why not go somewhere that's catered to what I need? Because that's how people in that frequency think. So much that we got the drift that we like, Trader's Joe in my neighborhood. Starbucks in my neighborhood. What was that other fucking store I said? I don't remember. That you know for sure that what it comes with.
I stay skinny because my life is exciting. So I'm not dieting, I'm not exercising because of shame. I'm just elevating myself. I want to show up glowing. I want to show up as my
I'm fat. I'm getting too old for all this. All this weight on my body, my legs can't handle it no more. I be walking slow. See them go outside and take a walk around the corner, and you know what it turned into? You think they could just take a walk? No, 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 no. They got to be looking around in the neighborhood and they see something and they hear something and all that. They can't even focus and concentrate and go for a walk and just focus on themselves and put headphones on and go for a walk. It's that type shit.
best when I go to brunches, when I go to events,
I love
when
brunch.
I'm hanging out with my friends. I want to look camera ready. It's always the belugas that are stressing out. The one rare time that they actually have a vacation, the one time that they actually have, I don't know, a date or some friends that they're going to hang out with. Have you ever noticed that bad bodied women, suddenly they will be stressing out like, oh shit, I have to lose 30 pounds by next week. Oh my God, I have to try to suck in my chin. I have to try to contour the crap out of my chin so it doesn't look bad from a side angle. Or they'll be at the event, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to be in the photos. I don't want to be in the pictures. That sounds miserable. That sounds miserable. Spending my life running away from visibility, running away from the spotlight. Everybody deserves a chance to shine. So why not me? So that sounds horrible, like spending my life running away from fun experiences, being stressed out. And it's almost like they have this it's like a negative feedback loop because they'll be antisocial, they stay at home, and they have no stimulation. They have no social stimulation, and so they're searching for food as a way to stimulate themselves. Then they get bigger and bigger and they look worse and worse. And then when they go out in public, their social anxiety is really bad because they know that they look bad. They know that they have not developed their social skills. That's another thing, too. Have you ever noticed that a lot of women who are very in shape and very social, a lot of people who are naturally social, they tend to be more charming. A person that is called charming, if you've ever been called charming, it's because you have good social skills. You know how to be likable, basically. Like, people, they find you to be very likable. They like your personality traits. There's a part of your personality that stands out. But if somebody is sitting at home eating Cheetos all day long, if they're sitting at home eating Twinkies 24/7, they don't have a chance to show off their personality. And then they have the audacity to say that somebody is being fat phobic because, they're not represented enough in the media. It's like, what do you mean represented in the media? When's the last time you went to an audition? When's the last time you went to try out for a hosting gig? When's the last time you went out for a modeling gig in the first place? A lot of women who are addicted to food, they're sitting at home. So stop trying to act like there's this huge agenda where people are just trying to hide fat people. No, a lot of times fat people are not showing up for themselves. It's not that everybody hates fat people, it's that a lot of fat people hate themselves and hate following a standard and hate having discipline. So it's like, why should I give up my platform that I worked hard for? Why should I give up a seat at the table that I worked hard for and randomly hand it to someone else as an act of charity? That's actually a form of looking down on you for being fat. Because they're basically saying, "Aw, you suck, and I know that you could never actually make it to the same level as me as a skinny person, so let me just give you my visibility as an act of charity." No, I don't want to be anybody's charity case. I don't want to go out somewhere and I feel like everyone's showing pity on me or they feel bad for me. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to have the identity of a victim. So I'm not going to sit around at home. I'm going to push past my boundaries, because a lot of people will be like, "Oh, I don't feel like getting up and going out by myself to the park. I don't feel like it." Okay, well, that's exactly the problem right there. That statement is exactly why you're fat. "Oh, I don't feel like it." You're doing everything based on your
Right.
feelings in the moment. You
Right.
can't do that. You can't do that all the time. It's okay to have feelings. Your feelings are valid.
Right.
Do you think I feel like eating fruits and vegetables every single day? Do
Yep.
you think I
No.
feel like eating that much fiber?
Right.
Do you really think I feel like boo-booing 3 times a day?
Nope.
Do you think I feel like rejecting the cookies and the cake and all of the fast food? No, I don't feel like doing those things. If I was doing it all based on my feelings, I would be having ice cream for breakfast. I'd be having ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If everything was just based on how I feel, I'd be having breakfast, lunch, and dinner as desserts. I would be spending all of my money on fast food. I'd be going out to eat every day if I just lived only based on feelings. So a lot of people who have this beluga mindset and they're addicted to food, they're not good at managing their own emotions. And so they're doing things based off of impulse. They're eating impulsively. And it's like, okay, if I'm going to choose to be impulsive, I'd rather be impulsive when it comes to recording videos for my online business. That's what I want to do impulsively. I want to impulsively save money. I want to impulsively get on the elliptical. I want to impulsively run 10 miles. That's what I want to be able to do impulsively. I want my impulses to work in my favor. And another thing that I love about being skinny is whenever I impulsively want to go out, like let's say me and my friend just decide to go to a food truck or we decide to go somewhere random, I like being able to wear the outfit I really want to wear. I don't want to spend my entire life hiding my body, hiding my stomach, hiding my legs, hiding my cellulite. A lot of women are calling skinny women hoes and saying that we dress slutty. No, we're not hiding anything. That's what it is. That's why you're mad. You're mad because we don't have to hide our stomachs. We don't have to hide our legs. We don't have to hide our double chin and try to go spend $50 a month on all these bronzers and contouring powders and shit. And half the time they'll be using a contour that has sparkles in it. So you have a sparkly double chin now. Instead of just having a regular double chin, now you have a bronze sparkly double chin. So it literally looks worse. I like to stay skinny because I want to walk in the room and feel like I'm owning the room. And I'm not ashamed of saying that. Yes, I like when I walk into a room and the heads turn and everybody's looking at me. I enjoy receiving positive attention for my body as opposed to negative attention. I didn't say sexual attention. All I said was positive attention. And when it comes to socializing, like for the women who are staying locked up in the house, building social skill, that's something you have to practice doing. So me sitting around eating chips and popcorn all day, that's not helping me to gain any social skills anyway. A lot of times people will be like, oh, they don't want to hire me because I'm fat. They don't want to be my friend because I'm fat. They don't want to date me because I'm fat. No, it's because you have no social skills. Because you sit in your house and you eat all day. So being fat and having no social skills, those are two separate problems. So I'm convinced that women who sit around all day scrolling their phones, eating food, not only are they harming their body, but they're also harming their social skills that could help them to get a better apartment. You know, your social skills could help you to get some friends, get a better apartment, have a social life. I see a lot of women talking about men who are incels or men who are in their mom's basement. And it's like, sis, you're also in the basement of apartment 315. You're in the basement yourself. You never leave your apartment. And don't get me wrong, I love my apartment. It's very cozy, it's very cute, but I also like to go outside because I want to see the world. I want to experience life. That's what life is all about, right? Is new experiences and kind of like enjoying yourself. Have you ever noticed that a lot of women who are bad bodied, what they look forward to is getting paid. They'll get their paycheck and then they'll get excited like, okay, yeah, now I get to just go grocery shopping. And it's like, sis, when I get paid, yes, I think about going grocery shopping, but I'm also thinking, okay, I get to save money, I get to invest in my 401k, I get to buy a stock, I get to go out with my friends, I get to have a new outfit. So I have more things to be excited about. I have more things that I'm looking forward to, and I want to show up as my best self.
Yes.
Because I deserve to go into new spaces showing up as the best version of me. There's a future. I have a future ahead of me. I have a very bright future on YouTube and also off YouTube. So I want to show up for my bright future in the best ways possible. And I also want to have some hobbies as well. A lot of women who are big have no freaking hobbies
None.
besides eating. And no, I do not count scrolling your phone or doing anything on your phone. I don't count that as being as much of a hobby because I do feel like if you're just scrolling your phone, it can do more harm than good, especially if you're just on TikTok or something like that. So that doesn't count in my opinion. I don't value that as much. I like to do hobbies that do not involve my phone. Ask the nearest obese person. The next time you're around somebody who's obese, go ahead and ask them, "Hey, what hobbies do you have?" Ask them what hobbies they have that do not involve a phone or some sort of device, and then ask them how often they actually do that hobby. Because every time I've asked somebody who's very overweight, like, what are your hobbies? They'll say, oh, I like crocheting, I like knitting. Oh, okay, when was the last time you did it? Oh, I haven't done it in the past 2 years. Okay, so that's not a hobby then. A hobby is not something you do occasionally. And then some of them will be like, oh, my hobby is cooking. Okay, cooking for yourself, or do you go to cooking classes? Because that's when I would consider it to be more of a hobby. I said, what is your hobby that does not involve a device? So if you're cooking at home, a new recipe, you're probably using a device. You're using your phone or something in order to cook that new recipe. No, what hobbies do a lot of big women have that don't involve a device? I'll wait. A lot of them don't have any, and that's exactly the problem. That's what the problem is. So it's like, if you like cooking, you could at least go to a cooking class and get out of the house and actually have a professional chef tell you how to cook something, and maybe you'll learn how to cook healthy foods. Another thing too is that when you eat food, a lot of times you're getting a dopamine hit, and I try to get my dopamine hits from other stuff besides food. So I'll get a dopamine hit from like hanging out with my friends, going somewhere fun, meeting my goals, meeting my body goals, learning how to slay a new hairstyle. And instead of me living vicariously through all these beauty influencers or actresses and singers, I want to live vicariously through myself, if that makes sense. I want to be my own celebrity in my own life. I want to be the star in my own life. So this is why I don't get upset when other women say, oh, I'm the baddest bitch in the world. Well, because you should be the baddest bitch in your world. You're the only one living your life. So yeah, I want to be the main character in my own life. I'm not going to sit on the sidelines or be bedridden. Imagine literally being bedbound when you're fully able-bodied. Because that's how a lot of women are acting. A lot of women who are bad bodied, who sit around all day, they're literally acting like they are bedridden. So they're sitting in their apartment waiting to be summoned by their 9 to 5 job. They only come out when they're summoned by their boss. They only come out when they run out of food and they have to go to the grocery store. Some women don't even go to a new grocery store. You're going to the same Winco that you've been going to for 5 years. You're going to the same Vaughn's grocery store that you've been going to for the past 15 years. And it's like, yeah, of course I would be addicted to food if that was my life. If the most exciting part of my life was just going to the store or watching somebody else live their dreams. But another thing that makes you a beluga is when you have no one to connect with. No friends, no family members, nobody that you're socializing with. So that's why I always emphasize building a community around yourself. And I know that some girls go through this phase where it's like maybe you don't have any friends for a little while because maybe you're in a transition period in your life, and that's okay. But that should just be a transition period. It shouldn't be like, oh, for the rest of my life, I'm just going to remain isolated from everybody. That doesn't make sense. That's actually impossible for you to truly succeed without anybody else. No, if you have a business, for example, you need customers, right? So you need to interact with other people. If you want to date or something, you need to interact with other people. If you want to make friends, you have to go out and be friendly. So you'd have to go talk to people in the coffee shop. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I will talk to girls in bars. Like if I go to a bar, let's say I go by myself, I'm waiting for my friends to show up. If there's a girl sitting next to me, especially if she's a fellow exotical, I will start a conversation with her and I will actually get her number. Me and one of my friends, I actually met a girl like that recently. We're going to be going to the movies this week. So if your life is boring, it's because you are boring. If you want friends but you have no friends, it's because you are not friendly. You're not friendly. And that always used to get on my nerves. It's like, okay, you want me to be nice to you. You want me to be friendly towards you, but bitch, you ain't friendly towards me. If you want people to speak to you, then speak to them. If you want people to be nice to you, be nice to them. If you want people to invite you places, invite them places. And then you will develop like more groups of friends. Because another thing too, I've noticed that some women who are big backs, first of all, they will have no hobbies. And I'm speaking from experience because a lot of the girls that I hang out with, I tend to only hang out with girls who are in shape for the most part. And part of that is because a lot of the girls I know who are very obese, their hobbies are just eating. And it's like, okay, I can't eat out every day. I'm not going to eat out 5 times a week or just spend all my money. That's not responsible financially or in terms of my health. So I need friends that have other hobbies that don't involve food. But another reason women stay in this beluga mindset is because they have no goal to be in the public eye. So they're not going to level up to that point. They're not going to be in the public eye. They're not going to be on stage anywhere. They're not going to be photographed anywhere. They're not going to post anything on social media. So it's like, yeah, of course they're fat. They're not going to be seen. They have no visibility. And they don't make it their goal to have any form of visibility at all. Which is actually, in my opinion, having no visibility is bad for your mental health, because if you look online right now, you'll see thousands of girls complaining about how they don't have visibility. So a part of what keeps me motivated to stay snatched is the fact that I know I'm going to be visible. If I have an interview coming up, I have something going on where I'm going to be on video, if I'm going to be around my friends, a lot of people will wait until their vacation to get dressed up and look cute. I'm not waiting until my vacation. Every day is a vacation, bitch. I don't have to leave the city in order for me to have fun. No, I can have fun right here in my neighborhood. Every day is like a vacation for me. Every day is lit in my life. I don't have to wait until New Year's Eve to have fun. I don't have to wait until a specific day or a specific vacation in order to have a good time and celebrate. I am the celebration. I don't have to wait until my birthday to celebrate. Bitch, every day is my fucking birthday. Every day is worth celebrating. Every day is worth me showing up and being my best self, because I value my life. Women who sit around and eat potato chips all day, they do not value their lives in the same capacity as women who are disciplined. They don't. But anyway, what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.
My 600-pound life, I'm curious how it compares to the other show that we've watched, Family by the Ton. Hate the names of these shows, but let's see what it's got.
1, 2, 3.
Repositioning is of utmost importance, especially when you're overweight to this degree, because you start putting pressure on certain areas of your skin, your muscles, your bones. You could develop pressure ulcers. Those can get infected, becomes very, very complicated to treat.
I have no life. My legs can't even hold my weight anymore.
That's why it's so important when we talk about someone being obese or being overweight, we talk about their quality of life being equally as important as their state of health and their risks that they face.
My weight has condemned me to this bed. I can't do anything. I can't even bathe myself.
It's really important that you clean within the skin folds as well, because bacteria can get trapped there. It's a dark, moist environment most of the time, and as a result, fungi thrive in that type of environment. So not only do you have to wash it well, but you have to dry it well as well.
I have arthritis, gout, lymphedema, diabetes.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is all a result of metabolic syndrome, which can develop from being overweight to this degree. You know, a lot of people, when I even talked about bariatric surgery on some of my past videos, were quite critical of me for saying that bariatric surgery can be an option for somebody. But for somebody like this, who is struggling to move around because of arthritis, because of legitimate medical conditions, she's unable to take care of herself on her own. So yes, bariatric surgery can be a life changer, a lifesaver in many cases. While I don't think it's appropriate in all cases, far from all cases, I think you need to be open-minded that in medicine, the selection for the treatment depends on the individual patient in front of you. And this patient, for now at least, it makes sense.
As a kid, I was never overweight. It wasn't until my early 20s that my weight started to be a problem. I tried to break up with my boyfriend at the time. He lost it, and he took me hostage. He held me at gunpoint, and I thought I was gonna die.
A lot of folks rush to judge people. Many feel like fat shaming is appropriate because they view someone who is obese as lazy. People have true problems, medically related and psychologically related. This person dealt with a traumatic situation, and perhaps that is the cause of the start of this condition. So to judge someone unfairly just by simply writing them off as lazy is unfair, and that's why we're against fat shaming on this channel.
I was too scared to leave the house. I lived in constant fear, and I just ate. I'm a junk food junkie.
A lot of times when you eat those types of foods, they can increase temporarily some neurotransmitters in your brain that help you feel good. So it almost becomes a type of self-medication when you start binging foods like that, especially the junk foods.
She don't lose the weight. I'm afraid this she'll pass.
It's a very reasonable concern to have when someone is of that size, because you're putting tremendous strain on every organ in your body. And it's an unnatural strain as well.
We're expecting arrival of Marla McCants. From what I understand, she may be close to 800 pounds. If she's that big, she should have used bariatric ambulance with medical care to go with her. She should not have come to use on her own. She should have waited for a safer option.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, that safer option may be unaffordable to most people. That's why, as a doctor, you can't just make recommendations. You have to make recommendations with the patient in mind. Do they want to do this? Can they afford to do this? Is this service even available to them?
I can already see that she is in one of the worst condition health-wise I ever seen.
For a prolonged trip like that with lack of mobility, her chance of developing a blood clot goes through the roof. And why is that dangerous? Because a blood clot is more likely to happen in the lower extremities. Then if that clot travels in the circulation back to the heart and then to the lungs and gets stuck there, you develop a pulmonary embolism, which cuts off blood supply to the lung, and essentially that part of the lung starts dying. You could see how that could quickly become fatal.
I can't move my legs.
Your leg hurt? Look, I got a little bit swelling, huh?
Well, that swelling could be as a result of the DVT, that clot we just talked about, or it could be her lymphedema acting up.
We're gonna run some tests to find out what may be going on with you.
The tests that they're usually running in these situations.
Okay, Dr. Mike. Let's hear. We can't really play this because this is copyright. This is a doctor right here that can tell you the reality of your health, the reality of not taking care of your health. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get up at like 12, 1 o'clock. I'm gonna start my day. Am I on the right screen? No, I'm not. I went to a whole other screen. Let's go ahead to
Would be a Doppler ultrasound of the lower extremities, which is an ultrasound to check for blood flow.
right. So this is this fair use. This is the ultrasound. First of all, man, why am I here? Let's look at this doctor, Dr. Mike. Let's just look at him. Is this the one who had the maggots? Okay. We're going to look at this together because he's on it with me. And we're both going to talk together. Okay, look, let's look at this
But
together.
it's got
I remember her saying, I think this lady died.
repositioning is of utmost importance, especially when you're overweight to this degree, because you start
No. Fuck that. Fuck reposition. Listen, look
what
at
it's
this
got.
shit. Her daughter looked like a stud, too. Look what the fuck she looked like. This is a physical representation of life being stuck. This is the physical representation of what it is to hold on to all that weight, which is going back in time, what used to be, how you didn't, if I woulda, that puts you on, that gains weight in your life, that makes you more heavy. And she just got on a t-shirt. No knee. There's, at least you could see her knees, but look at her feet. Your feet is not going to grow anymore once you're an adult. The legs it's that part. I keep telling y'all, I'm all about the legs. The legs and the feet scare me. It's like that. Remember that person we saw with the coffee, and he was dancing in the camera and shit, and he was built something like this, and the feet was like this.
1, 2, 3.
Why is somebody lifting? I'm sorry, anybody on my show, are you being lifted up by somebody like this when you wake up in the morning? I got a pretty bed. I ain't even go hard this time around and buy a whole canopy set so I could put motherfucking lights and shit on that bitch. I ain't even go that hard. I got a simple LED light at the top of the headboard. I have a bookshelf. See, this is what it tells you where my mind is at. I have a bookshelf on my bed. So when I start my day, when I do my night routine, because I'm about to build a night routine, and I put the computer away, the computer's not going to come in the room anymore. I'm going to get my light on, and I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to indulge in a book or an audio book, and I'm going to fall asleep. I have a Bluetooth set. I got a Bluetooth connection on this piece here, so I can listen to an audio book in my sleep.
Repositioning is of utmost importance, especially when
So,
you're overweight to this degree, because
so he's
you start
saying
putting pressure on certain areas of
when
your
you
skin,
overweight
your
at this
muscles, your
degree,
bones. You could develop pressure ulcers. Those can get infected.
you can get pressure ulcers from being fat, y'all. From being overweight. You mean to tell me a person who looks like this is happy? You want to tell me fat people are happy? That's what y'all gonna tell me. No, they just annoying.
Becomes very, very complicated to treat.
I have no life.
You said it becomes
My
very
legs can't
complicated.
even hold my weight anymore.
That's why it's so important when we talk about someone being obese or
I look at how people walk. Your walk is where your confidence is. Your walk is where your drive is. Your walk, your legs is where your health is. And the Asians say this all the time. I have a book I found talking about your health is in your legs.
being overweight. We talk about their quality of life being equally as important as their state of health and their risks that they face.
My weight has
That
condemned.
shit there. Look at the depths. Look at the depths of those rolls in her body.
me to this bed. I can't do anything.
You made your life. This is what I want you to understand about the beluga mindset. Now, 600-pound life is an physical exaggeration, right? The physical, no. Excuse me. It's not an exaggeration because it's there. It's a physical manifestation of the beluga mind. Listen, you have to build a standard when you walk out here in your frequency. What is this person's health routine? What do you do for your body? What do I see when I look at your body? Do you look like you even do anything for your body?
Can't even bathe myself.
It's really important that you clean within the skin folds as well, because bacteria can get trapped there. It's a dark, moist environment most of the time, and as a result, fungi thrive in that type of environment. So not only do you have to wash it well, but you have to dry it well as well.
I have arthritis, gout, lymphedema.
I've heard of gout. Isn't that when something with your reflex or something? Isn't that what gout is? I'm not really sure.
Diabetes.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is all a result of metabolic syndrome, which can develop from being overweight to this degree. You know, a lot.
And you mean to tell me this don't got nothing to do with somebody's level of intelligence? But that bitch nails is done though. That bitch nails is done, right?
A lot of people, when I even talked about bariatric surgery in some of my past videos, were quite critical of me for saying that bariatric surgery can be an option for somebody. But for somebody like this, who is struggling to move around because of arthritis, because of legitimate medical conditions, she's unable to take care of herself on her own. So yes, bariatric surgery can be a life changer, a lifesaver in many cases. While I don't think it's appropriate in all cases, far from all cases, I think you need to be open-minded that in medicine, the selection for the treatment depends on the individual patient in front of you. And this patient, for now at least, it makes sense.
As a kid, I was never overweight.
Kinda was.
It was
I want y'all to listen to the story. And this is where this person is stuck. And I want you to pay attention to what I'm talking
until my early 20s that my weight started to be a problem.
This bitch started getting fat in her 20s. Now we about to hear the sad story.
I tried to break up with my boyfriend at the time. He lost it, and he took me hostage. He held me at gunpoint. and I thought I was gonna die.
A lot of folks rush to judge people. Many feel like fat shaming is appropriate because
Dr.
they
Mike, don't do
view someone who is obese as lazy. People have true problems, medically related and psychologically related. This person dealt with a traumatic situation, and perhaps that is the cause of the start of this condition. So to judge someone unfairly just by simply writing them off as lazy is unfair, and that's why we're against fat shaming on this channel.
I was too scared to leave the house.
Dr. Mike, let me tell you something, sir. Can you look at me while I'm talking? Okay, you looking at her. I had a gun pulled on me. I had a knife pulled to my neck. I had my life threatened. And guess what? I'm still about to go vegan. And I've been sexually violated. Okay? Dr. Mike, just want to let you know that. And a bitch still about to go vegan. A bitch still about to get up and go jog and get her life together. A bitch still about to beautify her life. Listen to me, y'all. And I need y'all to hear me real fucking good when I tell you this. Don't feel sorry for people. That's how that beluga, that's how that fake friend got in your life. You need to be with people who take their life back. Isn't that what the fuck you doing? Aren't you taking your life back? You need to be around people that take their life back. What kind of friendship you gonna have with somebody like this? You think you can walk up in here and say, hey, I'm going to school for screenwriting. I'm on my way to get an MFA in writing. I'm going to get my MFA in screenwriting. I'm going to get my MFA in directing. I'm going to school to be in medical, to be a biologist. Yeah, you think that you can walk into a room with a bitch like this with Funyuns? Because that's what the beluga mind is. Oh, I'm fat. Oh, I'm this. Bitch, yes, you are. Come on, get up, girl. Let's go for a walk. You look like a dumbass bitch trying to be friends with somebody like this. And now you got to get your mental together. Because when you walk outside and you all snatched up, yoga body, and you got this friend, people going to be like, oh, maybe that's her personal trainer and that's her handler. That's what the fuck you going to look like. And then when you walking around this bitch, people realize that's your friend. Everybody looking at you sideways. Like, bitch, your best friend. This bitch ain't nobody friend. Shit like that. You sit here, what you think your life gonna be like being friends? Because you've been friends with bitches like this. You've had a fake friend like this. She didn't exactly look this way, but this is who she was. This is her life. She and Funyuns, and listen, somebody just washed her up. Just threw her nasty ass leg up, washed her up, got under all her rolls, threw baby powder on. She threw on a clean, that shirt still looked dirty. Another blue damn shirt, because she depressed as fuck. And going to sit there and now she looking at TV and fucking Funyuns.
I lived in constant fear. And I just ate. I'm a junk food junkie.
A lot of times when you eat those,
they are full of shit. It is about your level of intelligence. If a bitch tell you everything that I just told you that I went through and say, I just dip down, I just go into eat Funyuns and I eat 10 goddamn breakfast biscuits and sausage, what's that called? The gravy biscuits. Well, y'all know what the fuck it is. Sausage and gravy biscuits. I eat about 8 of those. And then I bust down some soda on top of that because a knife was put to my neck and I was sexually violated and somebody threatened my life. And does that make fucking sense to you? Does that make sense to you? You have to start really, don't let the sad music and the piano get to you. It's storytelling. That's what they're supposed to do. They got to make their money. They got to get their views. Don't feel sorry for these motherfuckers. This is their reality. This is the life that they chose. And this is what you have to look at people as. Hey, you got to look at her health choices. Don't let nobody tell you that when you get older, this is going to be your life. That's the limited ideology of this reality. If you when you get older, this is going to be your life. Somebody told me when you get old enough, somebody gonna have to wipe your ass. I'm like, nah, what about all the old people that's like 70, 80 years old still working out and jogging? Who's wiping their ass? You can't listen to that shit. So you got to start putting your brain like, this person's, you got to look at that. This person don't exercise. This person will go get a BBL, but yet don't go do squats. This bitch is over here fat as fuck, talking about a BBL, but she don't even got it in her to probably do squats. If you tell that bitch do some squats, like, you got to look at this like, bitch, I can't fuck with you.
Types of foods, they can increase temporarily some neurotransmitters in your brain that help you feel good. So it almost becomes a type of self-medication when you start binging foods like that, especially the junk foods.
She don't lose the weight. I'm afraid this she'll pass.
It's a very reasonable concern to have when someone is of that
Now,
size.
I need you to look at Marla. I see something that I think is very interesting for you all to pay attention to. Look at Marla. Marla is your typical mammy that does things for everything and everyone. She don't know how to do nothing for herself. She taking care of her mama because that's her mama and everything her mama did for her. And she'll fucking put up a fight about what she'll do for her mama, right? That's Adele. Adele is a typical ass mammy. You look at her face, and it's so ironic looking at her. She'll look in the mirror and say she ugly. She say she'll fat, and she won't do shit about her life. She might know how to do her hair though. She might know how to pop on some eyelashes and do her nails, but she'll never do nothing about her body or her skin.
Because you're putting tremendous strain on every organ in your body. And it's an unnatural strain as well.
We're expecting the arrival of Marla McCants.
So you mean to tell me you don't feel that? You don't feel that? Listen, y'all. When I sat down and I saw my stomach, I said, hell no. I could feel it. When I walked and my thighs was rubbing together, I said, hell nah, because I could feel it.
To go with her. She should not have come to us on her own. She should have waited for a safer option.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, that safer option may be unaffordable to most people. That's why, as a doctor, you can't just make recommendations. You have to make recommendations with the patient in mind. Do they want to do this? Can they afford to do this? Is this service a blood clot goes through the roof? And why is that dangerous? Because a blood clot is more likely to happen in the...
This is the body, y'all. When I sat here and I could not close my legs at night and it was uncomfortable, I knew something had to be wrong with that. You know, that fake friend tried to tell me that I eat like shit and I'm gonna get diabetes and all this that if I keep eating all this shit. And I'm just sitting here like, my health is better than yours, bitch. My health is better than yours. I have the luxury to eat like this because I was eating fast food and none of that shit for a hot minute. But now I take my health way more serious. But understand that that's what they want. They want you to be in misery with them. And this is why you elevate yourself. Why you think people hate celebrities? Why you really think people hate celebrities? You think that they don't know people like me and you and us will go out there and look at a celebrity's lifestyle and follow that shit and really do that shit and really manifest it and make it happen. You think they don't know that shit? Of course they do. That's why they stalked you before they became your friend. You think that they can't see that you can get up and I'm trying to tell you the one friend I knew from high school, bro. She's her. She just sits there. She just sits there. Be like, bro, do you want to go out and do something? Do you want to go to the library? They don't do nothing.
The lower extremities. Then if that clot travels in the circulation back to the heart and then to the lungs and gets stuck there, you develop a pulmonary embolism, which cuts off blood supply to the lung, and essentially that part of the lung starts dying. You could see how that could quickly become fatal.
I can't move my legs. Your leg hurt?
Yeah, of course they do.
Look, I got a little bit swelling, huh?
Well, that swelling could be as a result of the DVT, that clot.
We don't need to go here no more. Let's see if she did everything for her damn health. There was one woman, she had maggots on her motherfucking body, embarrassing the fuck out of her family. Hold on, y'all. Let's go.
Poor attitude and very
Is that another daughter?
poor response.
And I want y'all to notice what her daughter looked like.
In the beginning never had any potential benefit anyway.
Marla is demonstrating very
Here, look at this daughter. Look how the people around her looks because of her. Because of her. Do you know how toxic people like this are? Their poor children just break down and cry when they say something to them and they don't understand what the hell's going on with their child because they're so fucking miserable and fucked up. Bitches, these belugas don't understand why your children are all athletic and beautiful and running around living their very best lives while their kids look like this.
poor attitude and very poor response. This is a very dysfunctional behavior. She's trouble like that. She act like a kid, you treat her like a kid.
It's a very controversial way to be a physician. I find that I've had success with other motivational techniques, making a healthier connection with your patient.
There's no healthy connection with a goddamn mammy. Not a bitch like that. There's no healthy connection. Called to see one final attempts to get her out of bed. So this bitch don't even want to get out of bed. Okay, I need you to understand this. You cannot let people like this make you feel like this is going to be your reality in the future. First of all, the future don't exist. You cannot let these sick motherfuckers around you make you feel like this. That is their reality. See, I remember one time I was telling this woman, and I said, yo, V, listen, you don't want to have a baby like this, especially not with a dude like that. You want to have a family life where someone else is involved. You don't want to do this alone, right? Giving her some wisdom, giving her some damn wisdom. That's you. That's you. My life is good. I'ma have help. That's not my life. My life is good, and I got this, and all of this shit. And eventually, I didn't fuck with her no more. And of course, I got a phone call from somebody telling me that she was talking shit about me. Why the fuck do I care? I don't know why they would think I would. And they went on telling me their situation with her and how the dude who she had the baby with, how trifling he was, and this and that. And I'm just on the other line of the phone, just nodding my head, just nodding my head. And guess what? She ain't doing well. She ain't doing well. The other two women just don't fuck with like her. They don't fuck with her. She ain't doing well. And he even said it. He don't want to take care of that baby. He don't want nothing to do with that baby. The mother even tried to get him to take care of the baby. And the stupid bitch is on her way to jail. And I'm talking about on her way to jail to do time. I'm saying all this to say that anybody who does not, number one, a fat motherfucker is a fat motherfucker. You understand? Somebody who doesn't take care of them their health is very telling to you about who they are and how they live their life. This is not judgment. This is frequency. This is frequency. Tell me some old chiseled up gym bro is gonna look at this and fall in love. Gonna look at this shit and fall in love. And if he do, we know something ain't right. We know something ain't right. We ain't got to keep dragging this no more. I was trying to see, did she do her health regimen? Because they keep talking about trying to get her out the bed.
You have to be getting the reports. If the reports were coming in from the physical therapist, that patient's not interested in doing this, that's one thing. But my suspicion is she's making assumptions based on her weight or lack of progress. Now, you need to be investigating this lack of progress, where it's coming from. You can't just make assumptions.
In 5,000 patients in past 40 years, I don't remember I've seen anybody 6 months after surgery that haven't been able to walk.
You're putting me in a group.
My opinion is
You're
based on
putting
my
me in a group. You
experience.
can't put me with nobody else.
You got a bad attitude.
And why do I have a bad attitude?
Time out, doctor, now. Separate yourself. You can have this same exact conversation, same theme, same message that he's trying to get across without ever getting...
Right. Dr. Now tired of these fat bitches. What you mean? Mike, don't fucking be trying to
patient. I would love to give...
You see how the sun's turning his head, because that's what he got to deal with all the time with the mama. He got to deal with this. Crossing her arms and putting her head up, not wanting to listen. She's stuck somewhere. That one person to be like, who gonna check me? Who gonna check me? Who gonna check me? What the fuck? Are we in high school? How old are we? Who talks like this? Who acts like this?
Give you the skin surgery, but I be understanding that having excess skin makes it challenging to mobilize.
You can have all the extra skin taken off.
If you do things, that's why you got to be patient. You got to be patient.
Astounding progress, and if you can lose that next 100 pounds, then you can have all the extra skin taken off.
Outfit recommendations, compressions. If her kids get sick, she can still care for her daily needs.
Let me tell you something. I listen to people who used to be fat, and I'm learning this, right? I listen to them. And anybody who used to be fat, you have to really see a true transformation in their life. Of course, you didn't know when they was fat, but you have to pay attention. People who used to be fat, they lose weight. I just, something in me just, something in me just, I can't do it. I can't. There's something about them and their personality that they have. I choose people who have chose a healthier lifestyle for majority of their lives.
Imagine that if one of her kids can't come, she would have.
That looks horrible.
You're not
That look,
alone. You can overcome your struggles and fears. You can overcome.
don't be
You
fooled.
can do it.
Her weight went down, but she didn't change. She ain't fucking change. Everybody y'all see here, let me tell you the person who really has made a change. That motherfucker that hit that gym. We need to give more credit to people who hit the gym. We don't give credit to people who had to be told this is how you eat. This is what you got to do. Now your skin too flabby. Let me cut that off for you. If they would have lost their weight properly by hitting that gym, they wouldn't have went through none of that excessive skin, none of that shit. Nobody who I know who has went out there and lost their weight through the gym has ever did anything or experienced anything about excessive motherfucking skin anything.
But I did it. Yeah.
We don't be proud of this, man. We gotta use our brain smarter than this. We got to be smarter than this. You got people that go through complete depression and they lose all that weight because of their fucking depression. Okay? We're not doing this. I don't give a damn how nobody take what I'm saying. I don't give a damn. Okay, hold on. What else I want to show y'all? We're going to go back into beauty. Okay, hold on. How to become magnetic. How I lost 40 pounds. Fat. Let's see how this woman lost 40 pounds by romanticizing. Okay, we got to shift the energy up. Ooh, that's some low vibrational shit right there.
Weight fast in a matter of months.
What
and
a
still
difference.
stay healthy, especially if you struggle with food noise and binging. And I personally have tried so many different diets, including vegan, keto, carnivore, intermittent fasting, juicing, and nothing worked. I failed for years to lose weight, and on top of that, I had binge eating, ED, and problems with food noise. So I was constantly thinking that I have no discipline because I just kept binging and having cravings, and it felt so out of control, and I just kept gaining weight, and it affected so many other areas of my life because I felt so much shame of food. And I was thinking about food so much that I was at the point where I was so sick of everything. So I finally cracked the code last year, and I was able to get from 145 pounds to my current weight at 105 pounds in a few months, which is a 40-pound loss. Almost all of it was fat loss. And I'm going to share what worked for me while still being able to stay healthy and eat whatever I want. And the key to all of this is I romanticized my weight loss and I let myself lose weight. What do I mean by this? Hi guys, I'm May and welcome to my channel where I talk about improving yourself and your life. So if self-improvement is your vibe, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. All right, let's get into it. So yes, I did manifest the weight loss because I was tired of not liking the version of myself when I was at a higher weight, when I was
just look
happy and tired of being controlled by
Wait,
food. So first of all, I manifest
here, right? Fair use. I want y'all to look at that for a minute. Why I can't go back 10 seconds?
So
bro?
yes, I did manifest the weight loss because I was tired of not liking the version of myself when I was at a higher weight.
Now, some of you will say this is not fat, right? Some of you will say she looks fine. But it's about what she says. Just like it's about what I say. You see how somebody can look at themselves and be like, I just don't like the fucking way that I look. I don't like the way that I look. And make changes.
When I was unhappy and tired of being controlled by food. So first of all, I manifested by living as the person that I wanted to become. I wanted to live a life of consistency, beauty, and satisfaction. So this involved romanticizing everything that I did. So what do I mean by this? I was being a bit delusional until things came true for me. I saw everything as beauty and I saw everything as being gorgeous, including the food that I eat, the things that I did, and the habits that I formed. I wasn't just thinking of being skinny because I could be skinny and unhealthy and sick. And having an ED made me feel so sad and worn out. And I was struggling with this for years. The binging and the other disordered things not only got me sick over and over again, it also made me feel really bloated constantly. I really wanted to be healthy and look good in the clothes that I like. So the key is to find a few habits that you're happy to live with for the rest of your life. Because the moment you stop is the moment you go back to your old habits. And keep showing up day by day and persisting in it, and don't stop. Keep persisting. I promise you, you will get to your goal eventually. And the way that I was able to stick to it is that I made it all about things that I loved, and I never deprived myself. So I'm gonna go through all of these things with you. So the first step is to think about your ideal body, yourself at your goal, the ideal you. Does she binge? Does she eat an entire bag of party-sized potato chips with salsa and queso and then a fried chicken dinner after that? Because personally, that was me. But it wasn't the person that I wanted to be. Or is she fit and healthy and active, eats cute aesthetic fruit bowls, and yet still treats herself to food that she likes when she feels like it? So identify specifically who you want to become and what your ideal body looks like, and be specific about it. So for me, I wanted to lose weight and look thinner and also have some muscle and look healthy. So from there, I knew what I had to do. And if you have to write this down somewhere, then do it. Because to me, there's something about writing down things that will manifest your words into truth. The next thing I did was to hypnotize myself. And we hypnotize ourselves every day, whether we realize it or not, through constant conditioning of the thoughts that we give ourselves. And
Let's
even the
let's get to the level of intelligence here. She said, she went into a state of delusion. I'm gonna have to start this show over. I'll be back, y'all. Give me like 10